Hello everyone, thank you for taking time and joining the webinar today. I hope my voice is audible and the display is clear. If not, kindly let us know through the chat option in your GoToWebinar console. Let me introduce myself first. My name is Chandramouli Durai. I am the product marketer for Zoho Vault. I am your presenter for today. Before I start the session, with regards to questions, please feel free to raise as many questions as possible using the chat option. We will answer them towards the end of the session. And when it comes to the recording, a copy of the recording can be shared with you on request. Please drop your email ID using the chat option. We will send the copy of the webinar email to our inbox as soon as we can. This webinar, Getting Started with Zoho Vault, Protecting the Keys to Your Kingdom, is designed exclusively to educate our existing customers and new prospects to help them easily understand the basics of password management and how to get started with Zoho Vault. So this is going to be our agenda for today. First, we will see the traditional methods of password management and its disadvantages. Next, we will see the combat strategy, like defining a password management strategy for your company. Third, we will see a overview of Zoho Vault and jump into our user interface. And finally, we will have a interactive Q&A session. So that being said, let's get started. So how passwords are handled in real time in everyday situation. In today's digital world, we use a large number of applications such as social media, bank accounts, enterprise applications, and etc. The number of applications used by individuals varies from one person to another, but all of us have a common problem remembering the passwords of those accounts. It's very hard to configure a strong password for each account and remember them every day and every time. As a result, what we do is to come up with an easy to remember password and reuse it in all our accounts, or we use a strong password and often hit the forget password option. In enterprises, there comes an scenario where they need to share the passwords of shared accounts such as companies' Google Analytics accounts, social media accounts, travel accounts, server accounts, and content management system accounts, and where the employees tend to come up with easy to remember passwords like admin 123, password 123 for easy sharing and remembrance. But this put the company confidential data at risk. There are even chances for third parties and malicious insiders to steal this confidential data from your company and sell it in the outside market for their own personal benefit. So how we store passwords in traditional method? We use sticky notes, spreadsheets, text files, and even print it on paper and keep it inside a physical walls. And it is accessed by everyone inside the company and shared via chat, telephone, email, and no one knows who accessed which password and when. So what are the consequences of this traditional methods of password management? First one, password fatigue. Your employees get this feeling where they need to remember excessive number of passwords as part of their daily routine. There are chances for identity theft. Your confidential data may be stolen by your company employees or by consultant or third parties or even by hackers. Password reuse attack. When you have a common password like admin123, password 123 for some of your accounts, what malicious insiders and hackers do is they try to try this same password for all your company accounts and try to access those accounts with this password. So here are a few examples of high profile data breaches that has happened in the recent past. First, we will see eBay. eBay reported a data breach in May 2014. Around 145 million user accounts were compromised. So how the hackers were able to compromise 145 million accounts? They are able to get into the company network using the credential of three corporate employees, and they were able to access all the data for not 1 day or 2 days, for around 229 days. Just imagine, you heard it right. They were able to gain access for 229 days. Then we also had a data breach reported in Uber in late 2016, where the hackers were able to steal around 57 million Uber user accounts, and 600,000 Uber driver personal data were exposed. They were able to get these details from Uber's GitHub account, where they have openly published Uber's AWS account, username, and password. From this data, hackers were able to steal the confidential data of 57 million Uber customers and 600,000 driver partners. In JP Morgan, the data breach was reported in July 2014. Around 76 million households and 7 million small businesses accounts, contact information, names, addresses, phone numbers, email address were exposed in this attack. Hackers were able to gain the root privileges on more than 90 of the bank servers, with which they will be able to even perform fund transfer and closure of the accounts. So now you know the importance of having a strong password and a need of a password management system. So how to build a combat strategy for your company? First, you need to stop reusing one password for all the accounts. You need to come up with a strong password for each account and consolidate all your password in a centralized encrypted repository and control the access to this password repository, and you will be able to automate the password management best practices and have audits and reports, which helps you to know who accessed which password and when, 24/7. So Zoho Vault helps you to combat with identity theft and even with malicious insiders and protect your company's digital identities. So here is a quick overview of our product. So how Zoho Vault can help you. So this quick overview is exclusively for new prospects. So Zoho Vault helps you to securely store all your digital identities, including passwords, bank account details, national security numbers, important documents in a secure, encrypted, centralized repository. Zoho Vault also helps you to share passwords with your team members based on roles and with multiple levels of access permissions. Zoho Vault helps you to boost your organization productivity by providing your employees one-click login to websites and single sign-on access to 80 plus cloud applications. Zoho Vault also helps you to provide passwords to user and deny access to users in a single click. All the actions performed on Zoho Vault are completely audited for forensic purposes, and you also get reports to find who accessed which password and when. So apart from all these basic features, we also have a special set of features which differentiate Zoho Vault from other competitors. We have integrations with Microsoft Active Directory (LDAP), Microsoft Azure Active Directory, Office 365, G Suite, and we readily integrate with 80 plus cloud application and provide single sign-on access to them. We have industry best password sharing mechanism, like you can share passwords with your team members without even revealing the password in plain text. We also have a password request release workflow Like when team member A wants to share a password with B, B always should raise a request and along with reason for password access, and A should validate the reason and provide access to B. To top of everything, we have IP restriction inside Zoho Vault, which helps you to restrict access to Zoho Vault from home or from any blacklisted or whitelisted IPs. So you have a configuration to blacklist IPs and whitelist IPs. So next slide. So uh, many of you would have this question. I am going to store my confidential data. I am going to store my password inside Zoho Vault. So how secure is the product? So here is our security architecture, which helps you to understand how secure is the product. So all the confidential data you store inside the product is truly uh, encrypted with AES 256, and the data transmission is over SSL, that is HTTPS. All the data gets encrypted in your browser, and it is encrypted with the master password, which is the passphrase, which only you know. Zoho do not store this passphrase anywhere in its servers. So even if a hacker or malicious insiders or even Zoho employees will not be able to view your confidential data in plain text without this master password. So this means the system is truly zero knowledge and all your confidential data is completely private. And to all in addition, we also provide two-factor authentication for additional level of security, and as I told earlier, we have IP restriction for high level of security. So before we jump into the product UI, if you are an EU customer, we strongly recommend you to sign up Zoho Vault from www.zoho.eu/vault. If you're from any other country apart from the EU region, you can sign up Zoho Vault from here. It is www.zoho.com/vault. And there are a few terminologies used inside the product. Some of them are passphrase. Passphrase is nothing but the master key with which all your confidential data is encrypted and decrypted. Secrets. As I told earlier, Zoho Vault is not just a password vault. You can store any confidential data such as confidential documents, social security number, bank account details, and etc. So we collectively call them as secrets. And chamber is a group of secrets, which is nothing but a folder. We also have subchamber, which acts like a subfolder. Password policy is nothing but the set of rules, password rules framed by your organization administrator. So we have three different user roles inside Zoho Vault. One is user, the second is admin, and the third one is super admin. Super admin is the one who set up your Zoho Vault account, and he can configure role as admin or user for other users. Only the super admin would be able to add and delete user and change their roles. And admin will be able to approve sharing requests, view reports, password policies, configure fine-grained controls, and other password management operations. So you can have any number of super admin and user inside your Zoho Vault account. Um, yeah, user role is nothing but an end user who just needs access to Zoho Vault to share passwords with their team members. They will be able to add passwords, delete password, share passwords with their team members, auto log on websites, have single sign-on access to cloud apps and everything else. So we have three different roles. So based on the your company internal requirements, you can configure roles for your users. So now we will get inside the product UI. So as I told you earlier, you can sign up Zoho Vault from our home page. What I do is I am trying to create a Zoho Vault account, mauli.durai at zilker.com. You can sign up from our product homepage itself. You agree Zoho terms and condition and click sign up. So it just takes 15 seconds to set up your account. So click no, my organization is new to Vault. So this webinar is for paid users. So we should be sign up for Teams. Enter your organization name. It should be Zilker, and create a passphrase. And passphrase is nothing but your master password, with which all your data is encrypted and decrypted inside Zoho Vault. So I strongly recommend you to come up with a good passphrase which you should enter it every single time to access Vault. So go here. So this is how the Zoho Vault UI looks. So there are some mandatory configuration which you should complete after signing up your account. So the first thing is you should complete the initiate sharing configuration, navigate to settings, sharing secrets, and complete this configuration. Click this initiate sharing button and click OK. So this is a mandatory configuration. Another configuration which we generally recommend to our users is to enforce two-factor authentication by navigating to admin two-factor authentication and enforce 2 for TFA for all your accounts. So you have additional level of security for all your user accounts. So this is how Zoho Vault works. This is how the UI looks. So I also have another account which is fully loaded with all the data, using which I can show demo to you. Sorry, incorrect passphrase. So now I am logging into our demo account uh, with the user role superadmin. As soon as you set up your account, as I mentioned earlier, sign up from the home page, create your passphrase, complete the mandatory configuration like clicking the initiate sharing button and enforcing two-factor authentication. Next step, what you should do is to add user accounts, to add users inside your to your Zoho Vault. So how to add users? You can do manually add users by entering their email IDs and sending them an invite. So you can do this manually. Your users will receive an email from Zoho. They need to click the accept invitation button and join your Zoho account. And your users should also complete the mandatory sharing process, and you need to accept their sharing request so that the handshake takes place between the super admin account and the end user account, we establish a trust so that you will be able to share secrets with your team members. So this is how the system works. Apart from the manual user addition, you also have Active Directory and LDAP integration. This is a four-step process where you can add and verify domain and import users from AD and configure your service provider and configure SAML for your Active Directory. Zoho Vault readily integrates with any identity provider that supports SAML 2.0. Apart from AD and LDAP, Zoho Vault also helps you to import users from G Suite and Office 365. So when you sign up Zoho Vault with G Suite login or Office 365 login, you will be able to see those options here in your users tab. So since we have signed up with another demo account, we are not able to see that options here. But If you sign up Zoho Vault with a G Suite email ID or Office 365 email ID, you will be able to see those options here, and you will also can import users from your G Suite and Office 365 accounts easily into Zoho Vault in a few steps, and you will be able to see those users listed here in this page. Once you have added users or imported users into your Zoho Vault account, next what you need to do is you need to create user groups like accounting team, finance team, or what to say, marketing team, etc. So you can click the add button and give a group name like marketing, and add user to that group and click save. That's it, you have created a user group. So why you need to create user group? This helps you to segregate users based on their functionalities inside the company, and you can share one password to all the members in the group. So for bulk password sharing, user groups helps you to do things in a single click. So once you add users, you can change their roles from this page, from the users page. You can click this. You can configure them super admin or admin or user as required. So you know how to add user or import users, change their roles, create user groups. The next important thing is to configure password policy for your company. This is very important. So navigate to settings page where you will be able to see password policy. By default, there are three options. You can use default policy for all secrets, or enforce default policy for all secrets, or allow users to select a policy. So we have less strong and moderate as default options, and you can also create custom password policies. You can create a policy name like internal policy, and you can define the minimum password length 12 and maximum password length as 45 or something as required. You can also you give options to have the passwords to start with alphabets. You should have mixed case, you should have numerals, special characters, and etc. While configuring the password policy, custom password policy, you can also configure the password age, like how many days after which you need to change your passwords. You can give it in days here, 30 days. We recommend 30 days as the password age. There is also an option never expire for some users, which they require for different purposes, but we usually don't recommend this option. You can hit save. Okay, special characters, it should be something. So we have created a password policy. So now we have seen user import, creating user groups, changing user roles, and configuring password policy for your company. So what next? Next, you need to add passwords to your accounts, which you can do from the secrets page and all secrets, and click this add button. Once you click this add button, you will see this pop-up websites and others. By default, Zoho Vault supports around 400 websites. So if you use any of the 400 websites which we support out of the box, you just need to type that website name here, click it, the name, logo, description, and the URL will be added automatically, and you just need to enter the username and password here, and click the save button. So if the website which you are using is not found here, so you will see this option, please use the others tab to add this website. For now, you can also raise a request to support this website using this form. So for your very frequently used website, you can fill this form and request our team to support that website, and our team will start supporting that website, start supporting that website in our upcoming releases. So if that website is not found at the moment, click the others tab and fill in the secret name, types, and etc. and hit the save button. Once you hit the save button, you will be able to view the secrets here in the all secrets page. So then you will be able to see these options auto log on. If you want to auto log on to your Google Drive account, all you need to do is click this button. You will be automatically logged into your Google Drive account. If you want to share this Google Drive password with your team members, click this button, share. You can share it with user, or you can share it within user groups in bulk, or if you want to share this Google Drive password with third party consultants or temporary workers, you can click this share with outsider button. So now I click the share with users. So I see this option, the list of users available in Zoho Vault, and the permissions, sharing permissions available in Zoho Vault. We have 4 levels of sharing permission. One click login only. This is the most recommended sharing option. If you share password using one click login only option, uh, the end users will not be able to view the passwords in plain text. So we recommend this option to most of our users. There is also option to share password with view permission, modify permission, and manage permissions. And you can configure the password sharing level and hit the save button. And for some highly confidential data, we also have access control mechanism. If you want to configure access control for Google Drive, all you need to do is click this access control button, click it, and configure access control for this secret. So if you are going to configure access control for Google Drive, you can select one or more admins to authorize the password access request for this particular secret. And you can also exclude some users from this access control mechanism, and you can also configure time based limits to access the secrets. And there are many multiple options here, after which you need to click the save and activate button. Once you configure access control, your users should raise a request to view that particular password along with a valid reason. If the reason seems valid and seems true or valid, you can provide access, grant access to that particular user. So that's all about access control. Apart from I explained you about the one-click login method like auto login here, we also support single sign-on for 70 plus applications inside Zoho Vault. So you go to the apps tab, click go to manage apps, and click add supported apps. We have around 80 plus applications. We support, we provide single sign-on access for this 80 plus applications. And if your company is using a CRM like Salesforce, for example, you can see this. You can provide single sign-on access to your users from here. All you need to do is provide your organization ID here and click next button, and that's it. And once this process is also very handy, you can grant and deny access to your users and provide and also perform user mapping for every application from this manage apps tab. So your end users will be able to view only the my apps tab and not the manage apps tab. Manage apps tab will be available only to the admins and super admins. Your end users will be able to view the single sign-on apps configured for them and granted access for them, and they can easily log into the cloud application in a single click from the My Apps tab. So by this way, you can easily grant access and map users to applications during the user onboarding. And when a user is moving out from your company, you can also revoke access in a few clicks. So we have seen auto log on and single sign on. Next is creating notifications. So go to the admin tab. You need to go to the audit tab for notifications. Here you can you can add notifications for the occurrence of specific password events like you can configure notifications for secret addition, retrieval, modification, deletion, and etc. Just click this add button, notify all administrators or only the users in Zoho Vault. When you need to be notified once or daily or weekly, you can select the time interval. You can select the notification events for all at once or for particular events like chamber addition, secret type updation. You can click the save button once you have configured notifications. Then you also have this option expiration alerts. It is also available here, expiry alerts, and you need to just enable or disable here. Zoho Vault administrators, while configuring your password policy, you would have specified an age, and once that age limit, for instance, if you have configured 30 days as 30 days in as password expiry in your password policy, you need to turn on this configuration, and administrators and super administrator will receive alerts like there are around 30 passwords that have not been updated in the last few days, and administrator can also ask users to update those expired passwords. So by this way, you will be able to rotate passwords periodically and pass your internal audit and external audit, etc. So next we will see another good feature, which is emergency access. That is the break glass account. So when a team member is away or when a team member is goes missing on a very important day or falls sick, so what you can do is you can add few of your highly trusted users as emergency contacts, and those users, when there comes an emergency situation, they can declare emergency, and at the period of emergency, they will be able to view all the enterprise passwords for a particular period of time. Once they declare emergency, all the administrators, super administrators, and even users will receive an email saying that emergency has been declared, and this particular user has now viewed all your passwords, and they will be able to get access to the all the enterprise password. Then you also have fine-grained controls to turn on some particular features for few persons and turn it off for few persons. So you can configure it from the admin tab, admin, and fine-grained controls. You have a large list of fine-grained controls here. You can restrict users from storing their personal accounts. You can restrict offline access. You can restrict users from sharing secrets with consultants and third parties. You can allow or not allow users to paste passphrase. You have a wide range of features here which you can explore during your evaluation period or even right now. So then you have an option to configure data backup in the admin page. So data backup helps you to get the encrypted copy of your data, if encrypted copy of your Zoho Vault account email to an inbox in an encrypted HTML file. You can configure how often do you need the data backup of your company Zoho Vault account. You can configure weekly or daily and hit the save button. and this will help you during the emergency situations and for audit purposes. We have audit inside Zoho Vault, which records everything you do in Zoho Vault application. We have secrets audit, we have audit for chambers audit, we have user audits, which records all the user actions. We have audit activity. So if you search for any users in secret audit or chamber audit or user audit or miscellaneous audit, that gets recorded in the audit activity. So this audit activity is an audit for audit itself. So you also get reports inside Zoho Vault. You have around 7 types of report, like user access report, secret access report, which helps you to know who accessed which passwords and when. Apart from this, you can also download our browser extensions from the settings page. So you don't need to need to log in into our web application every time. You can download our browser extension and perform password management operations like adding password, sharing password, everything from your browser itself. And then we also support mobile applications for iOS, Android, and Windows platform. So that being said, we have now seen the full holistic demo of Zoho Vault. So if you are an evaluator or existing user, you can go to our help documentation page to explore all the features, and you can also raise questions using the forums. And we have an exclusive admin guide and an end user guide for your educational purposes. So time for some questions. So shoot your questions, I will try to answer them. Any questions? Feel free to raise any questions. So no questions. So if you have any feedback about this webinar, you can drop an email to support@zohoworld.com or write directly to me at chandramouli.durai@zohocorp.com. So thanks for your time and have a nice day. Thank you.